Check it. Alright guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. Let's start off this video with a moment in silence for AMC. It's like, nah guys, I'm just playing. If you're not having fun with this stuff, what are you doing? Guys, we're going to look at AMC on the short term. I'm going to kind of skip over the macro on this one because I cover it so much. It kind of sounds repetitive, guys, to some people. So I'm only going to cover the macro every once in a while. It doesn't change on the day-to-day basis, but the daily price action does. So we're going to look at SPY, AMC, and GME in this stock. Guys, I know it sounds like it's hopeless. I know it feels like it's hopeless, but me personally, I'm doubling down. I'm going to explain it all in this video. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, and see what we have going on. You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're going to look at AMC, GME, and SPY, our favorite meme stock, AMC. We're going to look at GME and SPY. So let's go ahead and start by a moment of silence for AMC. It's like, nah, I'm just playing. All right, guys. If you're not having fun, man, what are you doing, bro? You gotta have some fun with this stuff. You gotta have some fun with this stuff. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and check out what's happening with SPY. So SPY is coming for this gap fill. I'm telling you right now, it's coming for this gap fill at 407. My personal, what I'm thinking, in my personal opinion, is we are coming down to 407. I think SPY is going to see more downside. The market's basically being held up by like 4 stocks right now. Nvidia, Apple, basically Nvidia, Google, stocks like that. They just keep going up, and they're basically holding the NASDAQ up, holding the SPY up. The market is on the edge of a crash. I think a massive issue is coming. We're seeing things like Robinhood basically liquidate people's accounts. It's showing their accounts as zero, their portfolios as zero. I'm thinking because they had got a margin call, they needed liquidity, and they basically temporarily liquidated those people's accounts. So please do not use Robinhood. If you still have stuff on Robinhood, please get your stuff off of Robinhood. Like, I thought we learned this about 4 weeks ago. But guys, basically you can see that the SPY, in my personal opinion, is heading to the downside. If we go ahead and pop on the alligator, you guys can see that we are starting to hit a downtrend and enter this downtrend. As you guys can see, we still have a lot of width in these bands. This downtrend is starting to form. We hit our head on this sloping resistance, couldn't get above it, retest, and finally got rejected. And I think it's going to start push down to the downside. Now, we could see a possible update tomorrow, but I'm thinking that we are going to see some major down days coming here for the SPY. Let's go ahead and check out GameStop. GameStop is doing extremely well, and then I'm going to focus on AMC. I think GameStop could possibly provide a sympathy rally for AMC. GameStop is in a high upward momentum rally. Okay, so if AMC, or basically if AMC gets any type of momentum, it's going to take off. As you guys can see, we're up 1% in the after hours. If we can get above this crucial support level, I'm going to talk about AMC in just a second. We'll talk about AMC in just a second. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right. So as you guys can see, we are talking about GameStop right now, and we are looking at this bull flag breakout right here and this pennant breakout. This is a macro pennant. As you guys can see, this is a several day pennant that is in place that we are breaking out to the upside. Now, I'm thinking GME is going to start heading all the way up to this $25 level. That's where things will start getting really interesting for GME. And the fact that we held outside of the bands, I think GME is actually going to start having some several percentage point green days, possibly 5, 10, 20% green days coming for GME here this week or next week. And then once GME starts to run, AMC will start to run. I know things seem like it's hopeless right now, that AMC, it's very down. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of depression, a lot of anger. I know it seems like it's hopeless, but guys, I'm telling you, we look good. We look good. Just I don't know how else to say it, but in my personal opinion, we look good. What I'm doing personally, I'm holding. I am not giving up my shares. I am doubling down. Now is the time. Now is the time, especially with the fear being so high on AMC. Right now, AMC's fear is at 39. So when others are fearful, you need to be greedy. You need to double down. You need to get ahead
of the herd and do the opposite of the herd. That is how you make the most financial gain. But let's go ahead and look at GME, wrap up a short-term prediction, and then go ahead and focus on AMC. And I'll also look at the macro and GME real quickly as well. So guys, as you guys can see, so GME basically went outside of the bands, was using it as support, and didn't get a strong rejection like I was said was possible. So we did get a nice pump to the upside. So basically, this was yesterday. We had this nice pump to the upside. I said if we do not hold these levels at $21, we're going to see a hard pullback. We held $21, so we got a nice pump to the upside, because I said if we hold 21.50, you're going to see a nice push to the upside, and that's exactly what happened. We've seen this nice push to the upside. So now what I'm thinking is GME is actually going to continue to the upside. If you go ahead and look, we are inside the band, so we are looking good on the 4-hour time frame. And if you go ahead and look at the alligator, you guys can see that we have a ton of momentum. Look how far wide apart these bands are right now. So this move has a ton of momentum to the upside, and I do think we are going to continue moving to the upside on GME. As you guys can see, bullish MACD, and this is actually going to help carry AMC as well up. Once GME gets to the, I'm going to focus on the macro now. Once GME gets to these higher levels at $25, $27, it's going to get very, very interesting for GME, especially when it breaks out of this macro falling wedge that it's in. And also, if you look at the daily time frame on the alligator, guys, you can see that the bands are spread very, very far apart as well. This rally is going to continue for GME. GME is going to head up to these higher valuations of $24, $25. And again, that's where it gets interesting, because if it can break those levels, break this overall descending sloping wedge, you will see nice movement to the upside for GME and start breaking out into its hope recovery rally phase. Now let's go ahead and look at AMC. What we're looking at is AMC. I'm not going to cover the macro on AMC, guys. You already know. I told you guys 100 times about the macro breaking out of this falling wedge. We don't have this huge sloping resistance, so we are a little bit ahead of the game when it comes to GME. We're already breaking out of our falling wedge. We don't have that sloping resistance. As soon as AMC gets any type of upwards momentum and starts to run, it is going to keep going and going and going and going. As you guys can see, we are up a little bit in after hours, which is extremely good. We need to break this resistance. So this sloping resistance has been resistance for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days now. 8 days now. I thought we were going to get that break today. I was hoping for a green day today, so I was off on that prediction today. I do apologize about the wrong prediction today. I did say that we possibly were going to see more downside, but I thought today would be a green day. Since we had a good positive pre-market, I thought we could hold these supports, but now we are back down in this $4.90 level. In that basically the retracement zone that I was telling you guys, the 618 pocket, about $4.90, $4.60. I said we would probably come down to that level in a couple of videos ago, and now we are unfortunately at that level. But what I'm looking at basically is for AMC to break out of this wedge. So once we break out of the sloping resistance, which we are approaching right now, it's actually right now the resistance we need to break is above. We need to get back above $5. So if we break $5 and hold $5 as support tomorrow, you can see AMC start the recovery phase and start to bounce. It's basically working on its recovery phase right now. It's bounced right now, and I'm not overall concerned at all. As you guys can see, we're in a overall uptrend. Even if it comes all the way down to that 460 range, we're still in a overall uptrend when you zoom out. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC. I mean, personally, now I'm thinking is a good time to double down, a good entry point in my personal opinion. So that is what I'm doing in my personal portfolio. I bought a few shares today, and I am going to be buying some shares tomorrow and accumulating more before the rally that I think is coming, in my personal opinion. Now, let's go ahead and look at the short term for AMC. I'm going to show you guys some possible price predictions, some price action that we could see if we get above $5 and then if we don't. So basically, this is my bullish prediction. So if we see AMC in the pre-market start to move up above $5, let's say it moves up to about $5.09 pre-market, $5.05, somewhere around there, and pre-market gets a bullish pump, especially because GME is starting to give us momentum to the upside. You will see GME start to give us a sympathy rally to the upside, especially once GME starts to run. I think GME is going to take off. I think both of these stocks are about to take off. In my personal opinion, I think the market's about to crash. I think things are about to get crazy. I know it doesn't seem like it, but the fact that everyone's hopeless and fearful and all of that stuff tells me now is the time, in my personal opinion. Also, I'm going to look at the fundamentals on AMC, guys, as well. And I have a new site that I'm going to be using as well that has fear and greed and price predictions as well. So, but let's go ahead and show you guys what I'm looking at. So basically, if we can move up pre-market to that 505 range, use $5 as support, bounce off of $5, maybe even come back down to this 480 range to retest this wedge, then come back and pump to the upside, and then start this recovery process back to the upside. I do think this is a very possible thing. I think this is going to happen. It's just, where is it going to happen? Is it going to happen here at 490? Is it going to happen here at 460? It's going to happen somewhere in this wedge. It's going to happen either tomorrow or the next day. It's going to happen. We're going to get a bounce, okay? I don't know how else to tell you. In my personal opinion, I know we're going to get a bounce. Is it going to happen here? Is it going to happen tomorrow? Or is it going to happen the day after tomorrow? It's going to be one of the two. We're going to break out of this wedge. But basically, this is the bullish prediction. If we go ahead and hold that $5 range, 505, push it upside, use this wedge as support, and then bounce off of that, and then start the recovery phase, and then start the bullish process back up to the $6 range. And then once we break that $6 range, things can get absolutely crazy for AMC, especially once we can get past that and then move up to the $8 to $12 range. Then things can get really, really crazy. But let's go ahead and look at the bearish prediction. If we do not hold that level, this is what I'm looking at. So basically, we could have hit our head early in the morning, resistance, heavy resistance, and just see basically more bleeding. Just see more bleeding tomorrow and a big bleed out. This is basically my bearish prediction. This is what could happen based off of the technicals. Again, we're going to get that bounce. Is it going to happen tomorrow? Is it going to happen the next day? We need to hold that 505 as support. But basically, you can see just more bleeding, more slow bleeding. This is a low volume too. Look at the volume on this stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous how low this volume is. So the sellers are just getting exhausted. They're trying to push this thing down, but they can't. Look at the volume on this thing. It's just drying out, drying out, drying out. You see that overall downtrend on sellers just drying out right there, especially here for this downtrend. Look at this downtrend where sellers start to take over. As you guys can see, selling volume is just drying out. Sellers are getting exhausted. They're getting to the bottom of this bearish rally, and bulls are going to take back control and then push this thing back to the upside, and that is what I'm looking at. But basically, we could see more bleeding tomorrow, and then basically start the recovery process the day after tomorrow, start getting a bounce to the upside like you guys can see here. So basically do something like that, and then start getting a push to the upside, and then start the recovery process then. So I do think we're getting a bounce. I do think we're in an overall uptrend. Basically, where are we going to get the bounce? Is it going to happen at 480? Is it going to happen at 460? Is it going to happen tomorrow? Or is it going to happen the day after tomorrow? Still in an overall uptrend. Things still look good in my personal opinion. Myself, personally, I'm entering at this point and tomorrow. I bought shares today and I'm buying tomorrow, doubling down on my position because I know when others are fearful, it is time to be greedy. Also, the technicals are telling me as well, and the psychology and the fundamentals are telling me that this is a historic buying point for AMC for the maximum risk and reward based off the psychology and the fear levels of the market. So let's go of the stock. So let's go ahead and look at the fundamental data for AMC and then go ahead and wrap up this video. So guys, GME basically cost to borrow is sitting at 8.93%. GME's cost to borrow sitting at 8.93%. AMC's cost to borrow sitting at 73.421%. Slowly going to the downside, but still extremely high valuations for cost to borrow for a particular stock. Let's go ahead and look at the shares available to borrow. So they did use a ton of shares available to borrow for AMC. If you go ahead and look at the AMC short interest, it's 25.95%. If you go ahead and look at GME short interest, it's 21.58%. They used a lot of short shares today. As you guys can see, they started the day basically with 10 hours ago. As you guys can see, 1.2 million short shares they used, and they're down to 150. So basically that was the bleed out that you guys seen today. So as you guys can see, they are basically getting exhausted trying to push this down. This was the huge bleed out that you seen today. That was all that short selling. And if you guys look, the short ladder attacks, this is indicative of a short ladder attack. So basically what you're seeing here is what they'll do is they'll let it run up. They'll wait till we get to a technical point where there's resistance. Then they'll take the short shares and they'll start dumping the short shares. And then you'll see something like this. Then we'll get support, bounce, because AMC is overall actually bullish. The fundamentals are bullish. Everything's bullish. They'll come, and then they'll wait till we get to technical support. Then they'll start getting them shares. Then they'll dump it, dump it, dump it. And this is what a short ladder attack looks like, guys. And I've seen these wedges 100 million times on AMC. The particular way that it stair steps down like this, that is a short ladder attack. This stair stepping pattern with this overall sloping resistance. Yes, there is natural occurring patterns like this in the market, but basically you guys can see the short stairs in the manipulation, and they also put out fake articles as well, FUD articles as well against AMC, all simultaneously with technical structures and technical support and resistance, and use all of this stuff to conjunction to make these downtrends much, much more drawn out than they should be. And that's how these downtrends on low volume are actually able to form. These low volume downtrends shouldn't even be able to happen like that. But that's just my personal opinion, a little rant there, guys. Let's go ahead and look at the call options chain and then go ahead and wrap up the video. So again, I'm going to look at AMC and GME call option chain. So again, if we can get above the $6 level, I'm thinking it's going to happen next week or this week. I still think it is very, very possible it could happen this week, but possibly next week. I do think we are going to see $6. This prediction for this has a 5-day prediction of $5.15. So it thinks it's going to hit $5.15 by May 21st, and it says by June 17th we're going to be at $9.25 based off of this stock's prediction. So that's one looking at on that as well. But guys, this is basically everything I have for you. You guys already know how I feel about the macro. Again, the macro takes time to play out. We're in this falling wedge. We're going to go in a overall uptrend. You guys already know this. The falling wedge is very, very easy to figure out. As you guys can see, you have your uptrend, then your falling wedge, and then overall uptrend. I already explained all of this to you guys. Again, Bollinger Band showing volatility. You guys all know all of this stuff. The macro doesn't change day to day. The daily price does. So I'm going to stop covering the macro every day. I'm pretty sure that all you guys know it. So I'm just going to cover the macro here and there, unless it's a macro based video. But guys, this is everything I'm looking at. So hopefully you found the video informative. Again, you can check me out on Twitter. And guys, as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.
All right, guys, that was the video. Hopefully you found it informative. If you did, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe for more content like this. And guys, I truly appreciate each and every one of you that watches the end of the video, watches my videos in general, shows loves in the comments, and presses subscribe. Thank you for 6K subscribers. You guys are truly, truly awesome. And guys, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. And as always, guys, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.